Raya, you the GOAT, boy.
RT, you good, bro?
Benzion, you the man. I've been doing this here, man.
Crazy coming back, he cracked the sky, he come with fire. Babylon, yeah, it gotta burn, your papaya. Damn, where you read that at? It's in the Bible. I tell you what you're afraid of, a black messiah. Crazy coming back, he cracked the sky, he come with fire. Babylon, yeah, it gotta burn, your papaya. Damn, where you read that at? It's in the Bible. I tell you what you're afraid of, a black messiah. Christ, he coming back to save his people from the enemy. The same people stole us, then they sold us to the enemy. Came on a slave ship, shackles on my damn arm, yokes around my neck, on my feet, so I couldn't run. Meat shack.
The wicked flee. Give me that Proverbs 28.
I don't know. Listen.
No. See, no.
I'm just trying to figure out who you say that I call beautiful.
You call this white boy beautiful.
Which one? Which one?
It don't matter. All of these are a freaking lie, Chrissy. This is the true image of Jesus Christ. Bring what you got. Hey, shalom, sis. How you doing? Hey, shalom, sis. Hey, shalom. How you doing? My name is David. What's your name? Christy. Christy. Oh, how you doing, Christy? Well, my name is David, and we are here today to teach you the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that we are the Israelites according to the Bible. Have you ever been taught that you're an Israelite according to the Bible? Okay, so if I asked you to fill out an application, what would you put as your race?
You know, I just figured out something. I decided to put brown skin. We hair from like, hair stores and things.
Right.
I said African.
So African.
No, I say brown skin. Like
Brown skin. So you're like you would fall in the category of like black, right?
something like that.
Okay, cool. So look, if you bought a plane ticket or a bus ticket, can you go to the place of Africa, America, or black? Can you go to those places?
What place?
Can you go to a country called black, or can you go to a country called Africa, America? The reason why I ask you, right, is because you can fly to Germany because you have Germans. You can fly to Japan because you have Japanese. You can fly to China because you have Chinese. You can fly to Russia because you have Russians. But can you fly to black? Can you fly to Africa, America? Or buy a bus ticket there? Can you do that?
I tell the truth, I don't know how somebody
Give me John chapter 8. What you got? John chapter 8 and verse 32. So check this out. What we're about to do is show you the truth of who you are, your true identity according to the Bible. Okay? Read that.
This is the book of John, chapter 8, verse 32.
So Chrissy, do you believe the Bible? Let's start there. You do? Okay, so let's read that again. I'm sorry.
This is the book of John, chapter 8, verse 32.
Come on. So we in the book of John, chapter 8 and verse 32. This is the same Bible that your Christian pastors have in all these churches. Read on.
And ye shall know the truth.
So Chrissy, you're going to know the truth today of who you are according to the Bible. Read on.
And the truth shall make you free.
So this truth is going to make you free from what? The delusion of inclusion. The lies that society has perpetuated on our people have kept us in bondage far too long. It's a new day in Chattanooga, Tennessee today. You understand what I'm saying? So what we're about to do is show you what the truth is. Read that.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 142.
So we read in the book of John that the truth shall make you free. Free from what? Free from the loss of your identity. You will regain your heritage back through the Bible. You will regain the knowledge and beauty of yourself through the Bible. Read that.
Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness.
So the Lord's righteousness is everlasting. Read.
And thy law is the truth.
What it called the truth, Chrissy? What did it call the truth? Read that part again. Maybe she missed it.
And thy law is the truth.
What's the truth, Chrissy?
according to what?
What we just read. Read it again. Listen good.
And thy law is the truth.
Thy what is the truth?
Law?
The law, that's right. That's right. You absolutely correct, Chrissy. Thy law is the truth. Give me Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 4. So now we're going to answer the statement that you made about saying that you're brown skinned, you fall in the black category, African American category. So if I take away from you, right? Let's say, do you have children, Chrissy? You have children, right? Let's say I take away your children. God forbid, you know what I'm saying? I'm just using this for example, okay? Let's say I take away your children. Hey, what's up, big man? If you got a few minutes, come over and holler at us. You too, big man. If you got some time, come over and holler at us. Let's say I take away your children, Chrissy, right? And I take away your children at a very young age. Let's say I take them about some months or 1-2 years old, right? And that you never see them again. And I teach them my ways. I teach them the ways of me. So they don't know the authenticity of you. They'll have your texture, they'll have your essence, but they'll have my spirit. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm going to be feeding them the knowledge. This is the same thing that happened during the transatlantic slave trade. They beat our identity, our heritage, our culture, our language, our way of dress, the way we treated one another out of us. Read this, check this out. Now this is biblical history. Check this out.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 4.
Bring it out.
And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage.
So what does it mean to discontinue? If continue means to go, what's discontinue mean?
Like to stop the whole...
To stop. You absolutely right. So if it says discontinue from thine heritage, read that again. Read the whole thing.
And thou.
In you, Chrissy, me, David, Malachi, and thou is talking about us. In this context, it was talking to Jeremiah. The Lord was talking to Jeremiah himself. And thou, Jeremiah, read.
Even thyself.
Even yourself. Surely you, read.
Shall discontinue.
Shall continue.
Shall discontinue.
So we shall stop, read.
From thine heritage.
We should stop from our heritage. You know what that heritage is? That heritage is the laws of God. That heritage is how we treat one another on the streets. That heritage is that we lost is how we dress today. Right? We lost that heritage. We lost our language. You know what they beat it to us? Speak English. You couldn't even speak your own language. They didn't even want you to read and write. Why? Because they knew what was in this Bible. And they felt like that if you got your hands on this, you might equate it to yourself when it really belongs to you. You understand what I'm saying, Chrissy? Read that again.
And thou.
And you, Chrissy.
Even thyself.
Surely you, Chrissy.
Shall discontinue from thine heritage.
Read.
That I gave thee.
The Lord gave us this heritage. Read on.
And I will cause thee.
Come on.
To serve thine enemy.
What's it mean to serve, Chrissy? You ever go to a restaurant? What do they do when they bring you your food? What's that called?
I haven't had the best service, but yeah.
It's called a server. And it's the Bible. Okay, so we can equate the server in a restaurant to what we would do for the enemy. Read that part again. And I will cause thee.
And I will cause thee to serve thine enemy.
So, Chrissy, when we got off those slave ships, the Bible said, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies. You know when that happened? Slavery. You know why? You know when it's happening? It's happening right now. When you go to work, when you go to your 9 to 5, when you buy from this store right here, when you go get the Asian hair store's hair, you're serving them. You're taking your hard-earned money, buying a product that you and your community did not produce. See what I'm saying? You are serving your enemy at that point. Read.
In the land which thou knowest not.
Chrissy, stay right here, Chrissy. Stay right here. Yeah, stay right here, Chrissy. Don't get distracted. The word of God is coming out. That's gonna happen. Stay right here in this book. The Lord called you. Read on. Don't get distracted, Chrissy. Read.
For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger.
So that's why we came over here on them boats. Because we kindled a fire in God's anger. That's why we got here. Give me that in Deuteronomy chapter 28. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15. Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter and the 15th verse.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15.
Read.
But it shall come to pass,
So it's gonna happen, Chrissy. Read.
if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
Hearken means to listen. Come on.
to observe, to do all his commandments,
Know some of his commandments.
to do all his commandments,
Now keep in mind, Chrissy, we read that the law is the truth. You understand, right? The law was going into the commandments. We're gonna break it down for you if you give us some time. Read.
and his statutes,
Come on.
which I command thee this day,
So Moses gave us commandments from the Lord that we should keep. Read.
that all these curses
So all of these curses, you going into the Asian hair store to get your hair to put on your head is a curse. Because you didn't produce that. Your community didn't produce it. No, what I'm saying, listen, what I'm saying is because you have to serve your enemies for it. You go to work, work your hard-earned money, and come and spend it with the Asians to get her for you. It's a cycle that we can't seem to get out of. But God gave you natural, beautiful hair that grow like his. So give me that in, what's that, Daniel's? Give me that in Daniel, chapter 10. 7 and 9. Yeah, Daniel chapter 7 and verse 9. Because the Most High God got hair just like you. He's the first author of beauty. What's that?
Wisdom of Solomon 13.
Yeah, Wisdom of Solomon 13. Get Wisdom of Solomon 13. Behold this. Because the Lord is the first author of beauty. The creator of heavens and earth is the first, the author of beauty. So if you are made in the image of the Most High God and his son, Jesus the Christ, why would you want to look like your oppressor? With the straight hair, with the hair that falls to the ground. Woolly hair grows up, like this brother's afro over here. Our beards do the same thing. They don't just drop. No, we gotta maintain it. We gotta oil it. We gotta make sure it's moisturized, just like a plant. Read that. Yeah.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13 and verse 3.
Read.
With whose beauty?
With whose beauty? Because you go to the beauty store to get your hair. Read.
If they being delighted, took them to be God.
Because the nations took us to be gods because of our beauty. You understand what I'm saying? There was a point in history where they wanted to kill off all of our men because of how beautiful our sisters look. See what I'm saying? They wanted to kill off every Israelite man. They wanted to kill off every black man, black and Hispanic man, because of the beauty of our women. Just so they can have our women because of how beautiful they were. Read on.
Let them know how much better the Lord of them is.
So the Lord is much better than us. Read.
For the first author of beauty,
The Most High God is the first author of beauty. Read.
have created them.
Have created us. Read.
But if they were astonished at their power and virtue,
Oh, that's it. Is that it?
that's it.
That's it. Go back to Daniel. So now, he is the first author of beauty. I want you to understand that. He is the first author of beauty. Give me that in Daniel. Chapter 7 and verse 9.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 9.
Remember, we went away from our heritage. We discontinued from our heritage. That's why we find it attractive to wear the straight hair. For our women to wear the straight hair. For our women to be in leggings. For our women to have on very promiscuous clothing. Read that.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 9.
Remember, we're talking about the creator of the heavens and earth. We're talking about the Most High God. Jesus Christ, Father. Read.
I beheld, till the thrones were cast down,
So the kingdoms of the earth were cast down to the earth. They were base men down. Read.
and the Ancient of Days did sit.
When it says the Ancient of Days, Chrissy, it's talking about something that is before days. What is that, if I may ask you, if you understand? What is that? What could be more ancient than days? We just said it. I just said it.
Like AC/DC time to me? Like,
Well, okay, what I'm saying is this. Before time existed, something had to create it. So something had to exist outside of time to create time. The Most High God, that's what we're talking about. The Ancient of Days is called, that's what he's called right here in the book of Daniel. The Ancient of Days. That's what it's talking about, the Most High God. Meaning it's, so like dinosaurs are ancient to us, right? Because it happened so long ago. So the Ancient of Days is before time, before days got started. You understand what I'm saying now? Okay, read on.
And the Ancient of Days did sit,
Come on.
whose garment
He had a body, because of the Christian narrative is that the Most High God is a spirit. But right here it's saying that the Most High God has a body. In order for you to have on those clothes right there, you have to have a body to put those clothes on. Read.
was white as snow.
Was white as snow. That garment he had on was white as snow. Read.
And the hair of his head.
The what?
The hair.
The hair, like the hair on your head, Chrissy. Read.
Of his head. Like pure wool.
Like the pure wool. If I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but if you took off your hair, if you took out that fake hair and let your natural hair grow, what kind of texture would it be, Chrissy?
Couldn't even see who wasn't there, even in there.
What kind of texture would your hair be? Would it look like our beards, or would it look like that hair?
My texture is that's pretty good braided.
So look, I don't want you to go off the European standards of pretty good, because what they consider pretty good is what you got in your head right now. But the author of Beauty said his hair was like the what? The pure wool.
That's right.
What animal on the face of this planet has wool texture? Okay, well a sheep has that type of hair. A sheep has that type of texture on it. Wool. Wool. No. That's why I said an animal. Read that. Song of Solomon chapter 5 and verse 11.
This is the book of Song of Solomon.
Now you know who Solomon is. Are you familiar a little bit with the Bible? Okay, so you know King David, King Solomon, Bathsheba, all of these, Solomon having 1,000 wives or something like that, right? You know about that, right? Okay, so we're reading about King Solomon. Read that.
This is the book of Song of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 11.
Read.
His head,
Solomon's head, read.
Is as the most fine gold.
As the most fine gold, read.
His locks.
His locks, who? First of all, we call a fashionable hairstyle that a lot of our people having right now we call it what? It's very fashionable. We call it dreadlocks, right? You can do stuff with it. You can tie it up. You can put it in a bun. You can let them hang straight down. It says his locks, read.
Are bushy.
Are what?
Are bushy.
So if King Solomon's hair, which is the tribe that I'm going to say that you come from, if his hair is bushy, what is that? Is that bushy, the hair on your head? Again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but is the hair on your head bushy? Right now, the weave you have in, is that bushy? No, it's straight. But King Solomon said his hair was bushy, like our beards, like his afro. It says his hair, King Solomon was the wisest king on the face of this planet, right? The richest too. He says his hair was bushy. He wasn't ashamed of his pure wool, just like the Most High God had. Read that part again.
His locks are bushy.
His locks are bushy, read.
And black as a raven.
And black as a raven. Go to Proverbs 3 and 31. Now, I want you to understand something, Chrissy. The reason why I said don't go off the European standard is because the European standard is why our women are the way they are today. You understand what I'm saying? So let me ask you something. When you go to stop signs in various cities and stoplights, you'll find some women get out the car and start twerking the music. If you're trying to raise daughters, is that how you would want your daughter to see you? I'm just asking hypothetically. I'm not saying it's you. You wouldn't want your daughter to be raised like that. So why is that? Because they have a European state of mind. They have the mind of the Europeans who want to keep them in a degraded estate. You understand what I'm saying? They want to keep us in the projects. That's one of the curses that God said would happen to us. We would become an astonishment, a byword and a proverb. You don't see Caucasians of any type of societal, what's a good word? Who got some type of stature doing that type of foolishness. But yeah, you see us on Basketball Wives fighting, Hip Hop Wives of Atlanta fighting and things like that. Why is that? Because they profit off of that. They profit off of your destroyed mind state. Read that.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31.
Read.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
So the oppressor is the one that put us on these slave boats. They the ones that sold us at auctions. They the ones that put our kids in front of alligator ponds and used them as alligator bait. They sold our mothers and daughters away from us. They and murdered the Native Americans. All of that, the oppressor did to us. You understand what I'm saying, Christian? So it says, envy thou not the oppressor. When you put that hair in your head, you're envying the oppressor by wanting it straight. Because we just read in the Bible that his hair was woolly. Solomon's hair was bushy. It's the same thing. So how do we get out of that decayed state? You come back to the laws of God. Now, if I ask you, Chrissy, how do you get the kingdom of heaven? And how do you think you would get the kingdom of heaven? What would you say? Do you think that God is going to be pleased with what he come to find when he finds you? If you continue in the state that you in?
What state?
So like, okay, with the short, with the blonde, with the white woman's textured hair, do you think with your legs out, your body showing, do you think the Most High God and his son Jesus the Christ will be pleased when he comes to this earth to render judgment? Do you think he will be pleased, or what would you think? Do you think he'll be okay with that?
Well, actually, it's not a white woman texture hair at all. I pay for it that it's just the texture just feels like hair. It don't feel like a white woman's hair, nothing.
Does it feel like your natural hair?
No, you can feel it if you like.
No, I'm asking you a question. No, I don't want to feel, I'm good, but I'm saying, does it feel like your natural hair that grows out of your head? Does it feel like that?
Something like close enough. I have good gray hair.
So you keep saying a good grade of hair, right? Again, that's the white woman, that's the European standardized version of good hair. Like, if I had a mixed child, a lot of people would say, ooh, your baby got a good grade of hair, yada, yada, yada. It's 4C or whatever they call the standard of hair. It's not kinky, it's not nappy. But you can't do too many styles with that type of hair. You can't braid it up like my brother's hair is braided up like that. You can't wave it up like my brother right here is waved up. You can't do that.
What, this?
No. The standard of beauty that people say that the finer grade of hair is straight dog-like hair. When in actuality, this grade of hair is the best grade of hair. My grade of hair is the best grade of hair. Your natural hair is the best grade of hair. The wicked flee. Give me that Proverbs 28.
I don't know. Listen.
No. See,
I'm just trying to figure out who you say that I call beautiful.
You call this white boy beautiful.
Which one?
It don't matter. All of these are freaking lie, Chrissy. This is the true image of Jesus Christ. Read what you got.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 28 and 1.
Read what you got.
The wicked flee.
The what?
The wicked flee.
See, because you destroy because of your mindset. This white boy is all up in your head. That's why you got the same type of texture hair. Read on.
When no man pursues.
So the Bible says the wicked flee when no man pursue it. We didn't chase her off. We were showing her the greatest man that walked the face of this planet looked like her. Got woolly hair like her natural hair. But instead she would rather have the hair of her oppressor. That's the reason why we are here. To restore the decayed state of our people. Read.
But the righteous,
the men in purple and gold, read,
are bold as a lion.
That's why we out here. We out here to show you are the greatest people on the face of this planet. The author of beauty made you to look like him in his image, Chrissy.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community.